Shalom, shalom. This is your boy, your friend, your brother, Frenchie, the West African Yasharal. So today's topic, lesson and investigation is going to be about Israel is in Africa. So, the Hebrew Israelites, or you want to call them the Yasharal, are Africans. Yes. One thing I want to say, I am not trying to make you understand, or I'm not trying to prove that we all got to blend in. That there's no Shemites and there is no Hamites, and then we all the same. No, this is not what I'm trying to prove today. I'm trying to make you understand that we all come from the same place. You know what I'm saying? I am myself from Africa, and I know the differences between Israelites, Shemites, and Hamites, but we all come from Africa. You see, the thing is that we have been separated for centuries now, us Negroes, you know what I'm saying? There is not only Negroes in Africa, and there's not only Negroes outside of Africa, you know what I'm saying? Yeah? We have been separated for a minute. And the imperialism of the European is in our minds. Okay, cool, true, yeah? Gotta give it up. But the thing is, we need to get rid of that, you know what I'm saying? Us to call ourselves not Africans or non-Africans is very ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Africa is just a place. It's not your nationality, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you being African is not going to make you not being an Israelite. That's what I'm saying, yeah? And I'm not here to perpetuate European white supremacy, you know what I'm saying? The truth gotta be the truth, yeah? You like it or not. So let's dive into this investigation together, and there you go.
The Africa thing, right? Where does Africa come from? Zanakaria. Leo Scipio's Africana. That's also wrong. We've been taught these things. I mean, literally, a quick Google you will discover that there's no truth about that. So when you're out there speaking these things, or you saying these things to people in arguments, it's important that you correct yourself, because a person with just a little bit of knowledge will confound you and make you look stupid, and it'll discredit everything you're saying when you go out on a limb and say stupid stuff. Leo Scipio's Africanus was never named Leo Scipio's Africanus until after he conquered a section of what's now northern Africa, that was being called Africa. He got his name from conquering that place, not vice versa. All leading scholars, well, not all leading scholars, majority of leading scholars conclude that Africa is a Hebrew word. It goes back to a Semitic tribe of people, not Israelites, but a Semitic tribe of people that went into northern Africa and conquered a certain part of it from Hamites.
All right. So, you see, even some of these campers, some of these Hebrew campers, they know the truth, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I don't know why people outside of that do not know the truth. But anyway, as we're dealing with the name Africa, let's get started. Origin of the name Africa. The name Africa came into Western use through the Romans, who used the name Africa Terra, land of Afri, plural or affair, singular for the northern part of the continent as the province of Africa, with its capital Carthage, corresponding to the modern day Tunisia. The origin of affair, keep that in mind, please. Like the affair, keep it in mind, please. May either come from the Phoenician afar, thus the Afri, or tribe possibly Bearh, who dwelt in North Africa in Carthage area. The Greek word Afrik, meaning without coal, or Latin word aprica, meaning sunny. The historian Leo Africanus, 1495 through 1554, attributed the origin to the Greek word freak, meaning cold or combined with a negating prefix so meaning a land free of cold and error. But the change of the sound from PH to F in Greek is datable to about the 1st century. So this cannot really be the origin of the name. Do you see what I'm saying, people? Yeah? We think that Europeans created everything and all that, and we think that, all little Africans, that's why I don't want to be called the same thing as an Italian, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to do their own research, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, I used to believe the same thing before, and when I came across this, I understand that it was not true. And you know what, just to add to that, even Rudolph Windsor in his book, From Babylon to Timbuktu, he speaks of these things. You see what I'm saying? That indeed the name Africa is not originated from Europe, you know what I'm saying? From Europeans, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Europeans used that name. And as the guy said in the video before, a quick Google and you're gonna know. You know what I'm saying? A quick Google and these things, be easy to discover, you know what I'm saying? So keep the name Affair and Afar in mind, please, So, I'm going to use also From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph Windsor, This book is very, very good, There's great information in that, It can help a lot of people, And I think that people did not read that book, you know what I'm saying, or probably they read like 2 or 3 pages, and then, you know what I'm saying, jumped into conclusion. But I'm in page 53, and we're dealing with the name of Africa. And you know what? He covered this as well in his book. So let's see what he's going to say about it. But the modern name of this continent is Africa. It is derived from the descendant of Abraham and Keturah. These descendants are of friend or affair. You see, I told you about the affair. Keep that in mind, And Jafran, The black Jewish historian Flavius Josephus wrote the following: Ophran, the grandson of Abraham, through Keturah, led a military expedition against Libya and captured it. When his grandchild colonized that place, they called it from his name, Africa. You see what I'm saying? So I told you, and even the guy in the video said the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And I went into like a complete different website, and they still speak of this affair guy, you know what I'm saying, which comes from the Ophran, you know what I'm saying? But we can read a little bit more, and I think they're going to say, they're all basically saying the same thing. Every scholar is saying the same thing, Let's see what's next. In the Latin language, the word for Africa is affair, which is similar to a friend or affair, The F in the word affair and the PH in affair are interchangeable in many languages. In North Africa, the Romans won a military victory at the period of the Third Punic War, Ostensibly, the Romans borrowed the word affair from the ancient Libyans, who called their country affair. The continent of Africa is gigantic mass of land. Is a gigantic mass of land. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a country; it's a continent. So you calling yourself African does not mean that's your country, that's your nationality. You know what I'm saying? Even right now, nowadays, within Africa, there's many tribes and there's many countries. And nowadays, there's countries. But back then, it was kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what's wrong with this name. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's wrong. And I thought y'all was trying to claim Hebrew heritage and everything. But as I can see, Africa is basically a Hebrew word. Obviously, people want to argue, it comes from the Egyptian Africa, but the scholars are saying the same thing, and it makes more sense that the Romans borrowed the word from the Libyans, you know what I'm saying, who got their word from the Hebrews. You know what I mean? So Africa is a Hebrew word indeed. Yes. All right. So now we're dealing with the geographical evidence that the so-called Middle East is Northeast Africa. So let's deal now first with the term Middle East. All right. So the term Middle East may have originated in 1850s in the British India Office. However, it became more widely known when American naval strategist Alfred Thayer Manhan used the term in 1902 to designate the area between Arabia and India. So what I'm trying to make you understand is that you see these soldiers, in the World War, these soldiers, the British soldier and all these soldiers, when they came towards Africa, Northeast Africa, or you want to call it Israel, they came from the Far East. The Far East is Asia. They still call it Far East today in their books and their manuals and all that. You know what I'm saying? And that is the reason why they called that area, they called it Middle East. Also, they were trying to change the name and change the maps and all that. You know what I'm saying? We know about these things. We know. But this is really important to know where that term originated from. See what I'm saying? We are doing our investigation at the end of the day. So we need to know these things. Next thing. Have you ever heard of the Fertile Crescent? So the Fertile Crescent, I think, is a area or a region between, from Egypt all the way to Mesopotamia. So let's read up about it. So the Fertile Crescent, also known as the Cradle of Civilization, is a crescent-shaped region where agriculture in early human civilizations, like the Sumer in ancient Egypt, flourished due to inundations from the surrounding Nile, Euphrates, and Tigris River. Technological advances in the region include the development of writing, glass, the wheel, agriculture, and the use of irrigation. All those things came from basically the Fertile Crescent. You know what I'm saying? As you can see on the map, that started from Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So if everybody is okay to say that Egypt is in Africa, so if the Fertile Crescent is this region, you know what I'm saying, that means that it's all Africa. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, modern day countries with the significant territory within the Fertile Crescent are Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Cyprus, Jordan, Israel, Palestine, Egypt, as well as the southern fringe of Turkey and the western fringes of Iran. The term is also used in international geopolitics and diplomatic relations. So, once again, I showed y'all, you know what I'm saying, and I was saying that it is the same region. So if it extends from Egypt all the way to Iran, and they say that it's a region, you know what I'm saying, it's basically the same territory, right? I'm not tripping, I'm not lying, I'm not making this up. Geographic and you know what I'm saying, proofs out there, and there's nothing you can say about it. You can say no, you don't want to, blah blah blah, but the fact is there. In fact, this is all Africa. Yeah, it's Northeast Africa. There you go. Sorry. That's the map. That's the biblical map, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so as you can see, the Shemites here, or basically the Israelites, that's the territory. You see a little bit after the flood, if I'm not wrong, yeah? So, or should I say after the dividing of the earth. Yeah, there we go. So you can see the Hamites are actually dwelling in red, yeah? The Hamites dwelling within Arabia, as well as with Shemites. So I just want to make it clear, the Shemites and the Hamites basically dwelt in the same area, because it is the same place, because it is the same continent, if you want to put it like this. It's all Africa. See what I'm saying? Two things I'm trying to prove: that the Israelites are African and that Israel is in Africa. But let me show more. I'm going to prove another thing. So you just saw the map. Yeah, Ham is basically dwelling in the so-called Middle East. Yeah, you see Ham's territory in the so-called Middle East. You see what I'm saying? So that's very, very weird. You know what I'm saying? So if the Middle East is not Africa, why is African dwelling in the Middle East? You know what I'm saying? It's not dwelling like, yeah, they're just coming to stay for a second. Like, that was their territory, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what I'm trying to explain is that they'll mingle together, the Shemites and the Hamites, and they even used to trade each other, you know what I'm saying? They used to trade all kind of things, you know what I'm saying? And all the time, the Israelites have problems. They ran into Egypt in those places, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to believe that Israel is not Africa, or the so-called Middle East is not in Africa, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's also crazy to call yourself non-African if you're a black man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I'm in the Zendovan Bible Dictionary, yeah? And we're going to check the definition of him. So we're going to know if him is indeed an African or not. So from the Zendovan Dictionary, him, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. So that's why all these guys out there just jumping, yes, we're not African. Yeah. Just because he said you're not a Negro, he never said anything about you not being African. He just said that you're not a Hamite, basically, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. So, one thing. So basically, all Hamites, yeah, they're basically Africans. You see what I'm saying? I wonder what land did the Most High give to Israel? Didn't the Most High give the land of Canaan to the Israelites? Yeah? Yeah? That's funny, yeah? Let me check in another dictionary, Bible dictionary. I got another one. Yeah. Here we go. Him, again, to make sure that him is really African. So if you see Africans in the so-called Middle East, what does that mean? They have the kingdoms or the territory within the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? So what does that mean? We need to use our heads sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? It's all the same place. It's all Africa. Basically, what they call Middle East, yeah, and I showed you about the term Middle East is a new term. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? It is Northeast Africa. Yeah. It's not Middle East. That does not exist. That's something that the European made up to make us forget that the people over there are dark races. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so him, yeah, in another Bible dictionary, yeah, 2 places, New Testament, yeah, and this is more interesting right there. The youngest son of Noah's 3 sons yeah, Ham, along with the rest of Noah's household, was saved from the great flood by entering the ark, yeah? After the water went down and Noah's household left the ark, Ham found his father naked and drunk, asleep in his tent. Ham told his brothers, Shem and Japheth, who covered their father without looking on his nakedness. Noah was furious because Ham had seen him naked, and he cursed not Ham, but Ham's son, Cain. You see what I'm saying? So people got it twisted at the same time. You see what I mean? The offspring of Ham were to serve the descendant of Shem and Japheth. See what I'm saying? And they give you even Bible references and all that. Yeah. Ham had 4 sons: Cush, Mizraim, which is Egypt. Cush is Ethiopia, basically. Put, yeah, and Canaan. You know what I'm saying? The descendant of these 4 are generally thought of as immoral and evil. The tribe of Mizraim settled in Egypt, while the tribe of Cush and Put settled in other parts of Africa. And you saw the map, yeah. Sorry, let me speak of also of the Canaanite. The tribe of Canaan populated Phoenicia in Palestine. You know what I'm saying? So I showed y'all the map before, yeah. Ham is basically dwelling within Arabia, or what you want to call it, even the Canaanites, the Hamites. The land of Israel is the land of Canaan. So you know what I'm saying? So if Israel is not Africa, that's just common sense, yeah? Let's not exaggerate things, you know what I'm saying? That's just common sense. You see what I'm saying? If you call those people, yeah, Cush, Mizraim, or Ethiopia, or Egypt, and all that Africa, yeah, why are you gonna call the land of Canaan something different when they're the same people who used to live there? You see what I'm saying? And you saw the maps. And I showed you about the Fertile Crescent and all that. You see what I'm saying? So, like, we really got to be clever in this thing. You know what I'm saying? We got to be clever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm doing this for people that wants to know the truth. Yeah. And that wants to learn something. You know what I'm saying? And come out of ignorance. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm going to prove more things. Don't worry. And just let's keep it going. All right, so we're still dealing with the geographical evidence that Israel is in Africa. So right now, I'm in this website called Black History in the Bible. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read some of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get brief and clear. And yeah, that's a very nice website. At the same time, I forgot to say, I recommend people to go check it out. Yeah. So as I'm reading, unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Genesis chapter 10, verse 25. Yeah. As we read more, according to Genesis, the earth was divided in the days of Peleg. Now, let's look at the map of how the world currently looks, but with tectonic plates add to the picture. So, you know what I'm saying, Arabia and, you know what I'm saying, almost likely Israel is basically, especially Israel, is basically on the tectonic plate of Africa. You see what I'm saying? So, once again, it's very crazy to say that Israel is not in Africa. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, we can check a bit more. Now, let's see this one. It's still the same website and still the same topic. So, now we have somewhat an idea as to why the earth was divided. Remember, Genesis 10, chapter 25. As such, but what happens when we put everything back together, we get what is known as the Pentateuch, it looks like the following. So as you can see, Africa is right in the middle, and you got so-called Middle East, yeah, attached to it, and it looks very nice as well. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when you put everything together, you kind of understand why they say that the Euphrates is a part of the Garden of Eden, yeah, and also they say that the rivers of Ethiopia, I think, I say if I'm not wrong, yeah, or the Nile is within the the Garden of Eden. You know what I'm saying? Because basically the Garden of Eden is East Africa. See what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's showing you over maps to make you understand that it's not trying to get one map and jump into conclusions. You know what I'm saying? So there's 3 dead areas in the image that shows how continental drift is believed to have happened. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a larger image, but if you have one, please feel free to send it over, and I'll update this page with it. While science makes the claim that continental drift happened over a long period of time, it must likely happen very quickly, as Genesis 10:25 seems to indicate. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, as you can see again, you can see, I think, the Middle East is basically attached, and everything is like far, far away from it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just an example. Yeah, it's not telling you that, you know what I'm saying? It's just an example. It's showing, you know what I'm saying? And we can also read the conclusion if you want. And both science and Bible support the fact that the Garden of Eden was originally located in eastern coast of Africa. See, I told you, in at least part of Africa, if not all of Africa, was referred to as Eden. If you look even closer at the map, we notice that Israel was also a part of Africa before the earth was divided. It is possible the area was called Israel fell within the Garden of Eden. It will definitely explain the following verses. So he was talking about this Genesis chapter 10 verse 25. You know what I'm saying? When he says, in the days of Peleg, which is the son of Bearh, the earth was divided. You know what I'm saying? So it makes you understand. But we're just gonna watch a little video, about tectonic plates of Africa. And
most Egyptologists and anthropologists, archaeologists of the Eurocentric persuasion will say that Egypt is in Africa. They had to concede that, but then they still draw the line by saying that they weren't Africans like that. In other words, they weren't dark-skinned people. And of course, this is all part of the Great Deception. And the reality is that if they give up Egypt, ancient Kemet, if they give that up and say that that was a part of black Africa, then they will also have to give up Israel. And that's why they draw the line at Egypt, because if they give up Egypt, they've got to give up Israel.
Now, we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you where Israel sits on the African tectonic plate, which means that Israel is northeast Africa. Now, when we look at this map, this is the Sinai. Okay? This is the Red Sea. This is Egypt. This is the Sinai. This is Israel. All right? This is Saudi Arabia over here. Now, if you see this in Hebrew, it says Haluach Africani, the African plate. Here it is right here. Israel is sitting right here. Israel is sitting on the Haluach Africani, which means that Israel is northeast Africa.
Without question, we are in northeast Africa. We are landlocked to Egypt, with the exception of the Suez Canal, which was a man-made ditch, a boundary now between. In fact, it's not even really a boundary anymore, since Egypt has reclaimed the Sinai Peninsula. But nevertheless, even those of us who are Pan-Africanists in our thinking and Afrocentric, we forget and we leave off that portion of northeast Africa and don't want to claim anything beyond that.
Europeans classified this area as the Middle East. And then since this the Middle East, the other question, where the Middle West? where the Middle North and where the Middle South. They don't have no geographical terms like that. And the only reason why they use that term, Middle East, because it disconnects the proper connotation that should go with describing this land geographically.
And the scripture says God made a garden, and the garden he made it eastward in Eden. So according to scriptures, it says the garden is placed eastward in Eden. Well, if the four rivers, according to the scriptures, the river Pishon, which compasses the whole land of Havana, where gold is there, and in the Hebrew it's referred to as Arabia, especially like northern Arabia. The Gihon, which is known as the Nile, and the Kel, which is a Tigris, the Euphrates, which is Parat. When we look at a map, when you look at that region there, the garden is located within that region of Egypt, Ethiopia, going over to Arabia, through around Mesopotamia, Syria, those regions, that's where the garden was. This is where Adam was placed. But the beauty about this, it goes on to say that this garden is eastward of Eden. So when we now use our heads and we say, well, let's go westward, away from the garden. Because remember, the garden is only a garden in Eden. It belongs to Eden. So if the garden is the eastward of Eden, let's go westward. When we start traveling back slowly westward, we end up in the landmass of Africa. There's no doubt that garden belonged to Eden, because it is the Garden of Eden. Now let's look at what Eden means. The word Eden means delightfulness, lovingness. Now, what soil or what landmass is rich like the African continent? Today it's called the African continent. What landmass is rich in the beautiful natural substances like the African continent? There is none. It is the delight of the earth, the delight of the world. This is the reality of the scriptures. The Bible is not a made-up book, a made-up fairy tale. This is a historical book with historical facts.
Oh, I almost forgot one thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah. And sometimes we need to use our common sense, you know what I'm saying? Which we don't usually do. Anyway, like I myself live in England. You can see in red England. Yeah. I live in London, and I myself was born and raised in France, Paris. You know what I'm saying? And when I want to go to Paris, you know what I'm saying, I gotta cross the waters, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go under the waters. I can take a train, or I gotta take the plane, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, this water that separates the two countries, you know what I'm saying? But y'all still calling an Englishman a European. See what I mean? Yeah? So, somehow, I wonder why is it not the same when it comes to Africa, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, ain't no water separating Israel from Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no water. Like, you can literally walk to one place to another, you know what I'm saying? And people in the ancient time did walk from one place to another, you know what I'm saying? So, that's very weird, you know what I'm saying? Why we should call Israel, Africa, like really, you know what I'm saying? And that's the power of European imperialism and supremacy, you know what I'm saying? Which makes you say, I'm not African, you know what I mean? So these are things we need to keep in mind and understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, ask ourselves some questions sometimes. especially for you if you're new to this truth. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? It's very interesting indeed. Yeah. So that means that's basically all Africa again, as I was saying. All right. So what have we learned? Remember, we are doing this investigation together, so we must have learned stuff, right? All right. So what we learned first, we learned that Africa basically is not of European origin. No, it's basically the name of a descendant of Abraham and Keturah. You know what I'm saying? Basically of Hebrew origin. Yeah. Well, that's what we learned. We've learned about it from the time of saying, you know what I'm saying, that region that extends from Egypt all the way to Mesopotamia and into the Persian Gulf. Yeah, and that basically it makes the whole region Africa. What else we learned? We also learned that there is Hamites or children of Ham that dwelt in Arabia or in certain part of so-called Middle East. What else we learned? We learned that the Garden of Eden was East Africa, and then all the westward, which is basically the landmass of Africa, was basically Eden. Yeah. Also, what else have we learned? We have learned, Middle East is a new term. It's not something ancient. It's a new, brand new term, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So we've learned a lot. As we're going to go forward, we're just going to go into the biblical evidence. As we're going towards the end of this video, biblical evidence, Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. The reason why we know that Israel is Africa, and also the reason why we know that the white people are not Edomite. So in the same day Yahuwah made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thee and thy seed I have given this land, from the rivers of Egypt unto the great rivers, the rivers Euphrates. Right? We can go to Genesis chapter 26 if y'all want. Verse 3. That speaks to Isaac, right? Isaac. And Yahuwah appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee. And 3, if you want to sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee, for unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father. So you see what I'm saying? That speaks of Isaac right there, saying that, you know what I'm saying, give the land of Cain again. The same promise has been done unto Jacob. Unto Jacob. Genesis 28, chapter 13. That's to Jacob. And behold, Yahuwah stood over above it and said, I am Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham thy father, and the Elohim of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee I will give it, and into thy seed. 14 as well. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. You see what I'm saying? So again, the same promise from the Most High unto Jacob, the same land, the land of Cain. I'll show a little map to show you as well. That promise is promised unto all the children of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? So the Ishmaelites, the six sons of Keturah, you know what I'm saying? And also Jacob and Esau. So to say that white people or Edomite is crazy, but this is not what I'm trying to prove today. Anyway, I was trying to prove that Israel is in Africa. Yeah. What should I use? I can use this book. Babylon Timbuktu again. Yeah. He said something very, very interesting. Yeah, here we go in page 28. Yeah. Hebrew has its origin in the Canaanite language. When Abraham came from the region of Babylon into the land of Canaan, he found the Canaanite language. Similar to his own language. Abraham communicated very well with the inhabitants of the new land and adopted the Canaanite language, made certain modifications, and it became known as the Hebrew. Yeah? Check this out. Yeah? Say that the Hebrew Canaanite language is one of the African language. Yeah? So, that's why they call it Afro-Asiatic. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't even be Asiatic because they're trying to add some stuff to it, you know what I mean? But basically, yeah, basically, Hebrew is an African language, and that's why many of us in West Africa have Hebrew in our language, because also we are descendant of the Hebrews, you know what I'm saying? So it's not crazy. No, I mean, I perfectly understand what he's saying right there, yeah? But just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe, should we go and look the definition of Cain, maybe, just for fun? Yeah, because that sounds very, very crazy when people trying to say that Israel is Middle East or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or they want to claim Israel but saying they're not African. You know what I'm saying? Is very, very, very ignorant indeed. No, I mean, yeah. Yeah, Cain was the son of Ham. Yeah. In a genealogic list, yeah. Genesis chapter 9, yeah. His descendant occupied Cain, yeah. And took their name from the country, yeah. There you go. Cain was one of the old names for Palestine in the land of the Canaanite, disposed by the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. The Canaanites were of Semitic stock and were a part of the large migration of some Semites, yeah, Phoenician and Amorites and Canaanites, yeah. See what I'm saying? So yes, they were Hamites, but they had also a little bit of Hebrew in them. You see what I'm saying? So y'all need to stop, you know what I'm saying? Stop this nonsense. Yeah, we're not African, we da. I've laid out all the evidences, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, went through dictionaries and geography, you know that, and you know what I'm saying, even in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe y'all want me to pull out the Septuagint? I don't think so. So, now I mean, in conclusion, you know what I'm saying, we need to stop saying, yeah, we're not African and all that. I'm not forcing anybody to say he's African. If you don't want to say you're African, you're not African, it's fine. But I'm saying, you might come across people like me and that's going to say, that don't make sense. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, this lesson is finished and I'm just going to do a little conclusion before to leave y'all guys, yeah? So the conclusion of that is that basically Israel is in Africa. You can't deny it. There's nothing you can do about it. It is in Africa. It is a matter of fact. Yeah. Now, I've laid out evidence and showed that I basically showed the Hebrew heritage of Africa. You know what I mean? Yeah. So There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, what I'm trying to do and what I was trying to explain, indeed, I was not trying to explain that everybody should blend together and then there's no Hamites and there's no Shemites and we all the same. This is not what I'm trying to do. No, obviously there is differences. True, but I was trying to explain that we're all Africans. At the end of the day, even though Africa is not the original name of the place or of this continent, but nowadays we got the name Africa. So, you know what I'm saying? And also Africa comes from the Hebrew, basically. You see what I mean? So there's nothing crazy or there's nothing bad in calling yourself African. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm not gonna die, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know why people got so much hatred for Africa. But this hatred, yeah, it's not good in a sense when we all in this world together, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you go around saying you're not African, you might dissociate yourself from people that are over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though you might think that it's helping you to claim your true identity, it's not really helping you to claim your true identity. You still Yasharal, you still a Hebrew Israelite, whether you African or not. You know what I'm saying? It's not changing anything in the fact that you're Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's the reason why I showed that Israel is in Africa, because if you go around saying yeah you're not African, there is proof to say that you are African. Basically, if you claim that you're Hebrew, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because the Hebrews were black, and then the land of black people is Africa. You know what I'm saying? And inside, there's no Middle East that does not exist. You know what I'm saying? Also, we need to get rid of this European mindset that we have black people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As I just said, you should keep saying to people that Africans are your enemies and all that. You might not really want to speak of the Israelites that are in Africa, but in people's mind or in their subconscious, when you say, "Oh yeah, Africans are this and you're not African and all that," you know what I'm saying? Straight away they want to dissociate themselves from people that are over there, and that includes the Israelites that are over there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not telling you to go around and say, "Oh my gosh, I love the Hamites and all that," or you know what I'm saying? Neither I want you to say that you hate them, you know what I'm saying? But let's be conscious, you know what I'm saying? And let's do our mission, you know what I'm saying? Let's speak truth, you know what I mean? Shalom.